Hi everybody, and welcome to our new live here on Spiritual Awakening Circle. So we are here with Dave Vickers, and we're
Hello.
really excited to have him. So hi.
Hello there. Thank you for having me
Great.
on.
No problem. I'm really looking forward to it. So if you'd like to just tell us a bit, our viewers a bit about who you are and what you do, that would be brilliant.
Okay, well, I'm Dave Vickers. I live in the UK, right in the middle, in the Midlands. I'm a spiritual medium, if that's what you want to call me. I've had the privilege of working with and for Spirit now for about 38 years. That is both as in a mediumistic way, a teacher, a tour guide, whatever you want to call it. I love working with Spirit in all aspects. But one of my best things I like is working with energy, whether it's on a spiritual side, a physical, emotional. Energy is exciting. That's about me in a nutshell, really. I just love working with Spirit. I do believe, though, it is not a gift. I believe it is a natural ability within each and every one of us. But some people are more passionate about it, and that's why I suppose they excel out of it. If you think of artists, we can all paint pictures. Okay, there's some lovely ones behind Nikki. We don't paint at the same level. You know, Van Goghs and people like that, and not so famous ones, they have a passion for art, so therefore they excel in it. I have a passion for working with Spirit, so it just seems to work. And that's about it, really.
Okay, these are actually tapestries. They're from my grandmother, so
right.
she's looking down on us today. Okay, so let's get right into it. So we actually met on a astral travel thread, which I found very interesting, and I love all things to do with astral travel. But why we're actually speaking is that Dave has experienced something that is actually a pretty rare spiritual phenomenon called bilocation. Now, what bilocation actually means is that you can be in two places at once, which is really cool. A lot of the saints and people like that used to be able to do it. In fact, near me, there's a guy called Padre Pio. I don't know whether you've all heard of him. He was recently made a saint. He actually had his hands were continuously bleeding where the nails of the cross were supposed to have gone through. Wow. And one of the prerequisites apparently to become a saint is that you have to have done this bilocation, which means that you're in two places at once. And so basically there was various people who had to come up to Rome to confirm that this person was actually in two places at the same time. So while he was still in the monastery, he would be up ministering to various people in the village and stuff. So anyway, this is something that's happened to Dave. So Dave, let's hear about what happened to you.
Well, I don't know much about me being a saint or anything. My wife Helen might disagree with that at times. Likewise, we're being able to do two things at once, you know, because as men, they say we're not very good at multitasking. But the outer body thing, then yes, I'd not heard of the phrase you just used, bilocation, bilocation, or whatever it was. Yeah. I've always looked at it as astral travel. I'll just give you a very quick insight into why I tried it. I love trying all things spiritual. I love pushing the boundaries. If somebody tells me there is a haunted location where people are being possessed, put me in it. I will invite that energy in, and I know it won't often happen. Okay. So somebody says, have you ever tried astral travel? You know, be careful, they said. And I thought, I've got to be careful. There might be something challenging about it. So I set myself the task of reading about it, and I kind of flick through books, but I talk to people, listen to people, and gain the knowledge through them. So I thought, okay, I can do this. I've done trance work before. I've put myself in an altered state, a different consciousness. All I need to do is be able to leave this body of mine and go on my travels, not like dreams. So this is what I did. And like I say, I just put it down as astral travel. I decided to start small. And I thought, well, if I'm lying on my bed in a different conscious state, if I can see myself walking out of the bedroom, down the stairs to our living room, and actually think and believe I've gone there, then surely that's astral travel. So I tried that, worked, you know, and thought, okay, perhaps it was just a good dream. So I thought I'd push it a little bit further. Now, back then, I'd been sitting in a physical, spiritual physical circle for physical phenomena at a very good friend of mine. So I knew the route every week because we traveled week in, week out, week in, week out. I knew the layout of her room. I knew the armchair she sat in when she worked as the medium. So I thought, I wonder if I could actually get there. So the only person I told about my experiment was my wife, Helen. So only just the two of us knew. So that evening, prepped myself, well, just had normal routine really, went to bed, did my breathing exercises and put myself in a different state of consciousness. And in my mind, I travelled from my house to Anne's house, through her front door, and I saw the armchair through an open door, but thought I would go up the stairs, but why not push the boundaries? Again, it was more like a dream. But when I got to the top of the stairs, I turned round and Anne was standing there. And then I was back at home in my own bed. Helen, I woke up with a bit of a jolt. Helen asked me if I was all right. I said, yeah. I told her exactly what I'd experienced. And then we went to sleep. The following morning, about 8 o'clock, our phone rang. Helen answered the phone and it was Anne. And the thing she said with no prompting, no nothing was, what the hell was David doing on my landing last night? I tell you what, I stopped and lost a breath when I heard that. And that to me says, okay, Dave, you did it. You managed to leave your body and somebody else was confirming it. If it was just me telling the wife that I'd done it, then yeah, I could have put it down to a dream, because dream state, we are leaving the physical mind to a certain degree, but to actually have somebody else see me, wow. I haven't done it since, mind you. So I suppose I could try it again, but been there, done it. That's what my theory is. But yeah, that was it. I would have called that astral travel.
Okay. Yeah, well, Dave and I have a gentleman's agreement that we can both respect each other.
Thank you, gentleman, Eddie, Nicky. Don't me up too much.
No, because as you guys know, everything in spiritual, there's not a right and a wrong, or even what it's called is just sort of really, sort of immaterial. I think it's actually bilocation, because after I spoke to Dave, I spoke to a shaman friend of mine, and he says that Dave is using his etheric body to travel rather than his astral body. When you do astral traveling, you actually use your astral body, which is spirit. And what Dave was doing, when people actually see physically people, that is when they have used their etheric body. When, for example, you can feel them and stuff like that, that's actually astral. But whatever it was fabulous, because you went out your side and she knew you were there.
It was something. But then you could throw another spanner in the wheel, as they say, and say, what did I actually travel? Did I leave my body, or did I put my consciousness on a different dimension, a different realm that linked into Anne's energy, and she believed I was there?
Yeah, absolutely.
So did I leave at all?
Yeah.
We're all connected on some consciousness at some level, but it's just fascinating. It really is. And like yourself, and like a lot of probably people listening, I've read accounts where lots of people have done similar and the astral travel. When me and Nikki spoke earlier about astral travel and aired our different opinions, and she explained that astral travel is more like going into the realms of spirit, different levels like that. And I do that regular. Yeah. I do that regular. I mean, I've had the privilege of sitting round a open fire with several Indian chiefs. They invited me and I went to sit with them. I've managed to go over a small bridge and meet my grandparents and other loved ones that are in the world of spirit, and it was so real. So that's what you're describing as astral travel, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, my personal opinion of astral travel is when you actually go and see planets and stuff.
Right.
So for me personally, I mean, out of my worst one, well, no, it's not worst because they're not the wrong word. Please cancel.
No, I know what you mean.
Okay. So I'm driving along on my little car, and suddenly, literally, I am in outer space. I mean, you would, it's sci-fi stuff, whoa. Most people wouldn't even believe it. But there I was with all the planets and stuff, and I was sort of scrabbling, thinking, get back into my body. And so, I rushed sort of back into my body. And it was really weird because, I said to Spirit, because I'd had a very, fast awakening, and everything was going. I kept saying, oh, yeah, I'd like you to go fast. I would say, they would sort of say to me, well, do you want to go fast? Yes, I'd love to go fast.
Yeah, bring it on, bring it on.
Bring it on. And then, of course, I get thrown out into sort of outer space and hang on a minute, that's just a bit too fast. But what was really, really interesting, because I said, look, I'm thinking that I might actually be going insane now.
Welcome to my world.
as one does when one finds one, instead of being in a car in outer space. I said to them, I said, okay, well, look, this is a bit too much. Could you do something? Could you tell me something that will make me believe that this is real? Okay. So they said, well, what do you want to know? And I said, well, okay, I want to know when my aunt is going to die. Okay. Now, my aunt was old and she was ill, and, she was, obviously old people die. So that's the thing. Anyway.
We all do.
We all do, and we'll all be there. So anyway, they said, oh, she's gonna die on Monday. And I said, which Monday? This Monday coming. And this was, I think, the Tuesday of the week before. So what happened is that my daughter actually phoned up from England, and she said, oh, is Zialina, is she okay? I said, well, to be perfectly honest, if you really want to see her, I think you need to come back this weekend. Now, she was planning to come to England for the weekend after, from England to Italy the next week. So I said this. Anyway, everybody else in the family said, no, don't worry about it. She's not ill. She's not dying, because she was, she was okay. It's not that she was dying. Anyway, to cut a long story short, Monday was actually Easter Monday. And I was walking with my husband on the beach in the morning, and my husband was saying, well, she'd got really worse by then. And he said, I think we're going to have to go and get her some oxygen bottles tomorrow morning. I said, I don't think we're going to need them, because I think she's going to die tonight. Anyway, to cut another long story short, it was 11 o'clock and I got the call. The aunt had died.
It's amazing. And you say that was given to you by your guides.
I don't know who it was given to.
Or was it just your own intuition being heightened by any energy your aunt may have sent out? I could use, funny enough, the story I'll tell you is from an aunt of mine that wasn't, she got emphysema. She was life limited, but not under any doctors as such for end of life care or anything. And me and my wife Helen and the boys were away, and we were sitting in the chalet where we were staying, and suddenly the whole room filled with the smell of fresh toast. Now, whenever my grandmother's around, she will create the smell of toast, and other people physically smell it. So it's not just a clairsentient experience. And I just turned to Helen and says, oh, Auntie Brenda's passed away. And within a few minutes, the phone rang, and it was my niece saying, oh, we're sorry to let you know that Auntie Brenda's passed away. I didn't say I know. Had I, while watching telly or relaxing, had my physical body been here, but my subconscious connected to a different energy source that was connecting to my aunties. And it's the fascination of not knowing, like astral travel, like bilocation. like time travel. We are just scraping the surface of everything spiritual. And spiritual is the universe, it's Mother Earth, it's us, it's intergalactic. I mean, come on, folks, we can't be the only living life form, can we? There's got to be something out there. Each and every one of you will have had some experience that you cannot put logic to. You know, people often say to me, Nikki, is it all in your imagination? I says, yes, but where does your imagination come from? It's generated from your subconscious. Your subconscious is your direct connection to the source, the existence, where time or life, whatever you want to call it, may have begun. You know, check the back of your neck. Is it the Matrix? Are we all plugged in to something? Who knows? That's the adventure.
Well, that was absolutely fabulous. I really enjoyed discussing those sort of things with you, because I'm on the same page. You know, who can say? Nobody can say whether you're right. Nobody can say whether you're wrong. The only thing is, you just respect it and see, is that something 100%. That resonates with you? So that was absolutely fabulous, Dave, and we shall definitely have you on again if you are willing.
Yes.
And have you got any last words that you'd like to tell everybody? Say anything.
I'd just like to say, if you have a feeling, an intuition, don't just dismiss it. Treat it as an adventure, a learning curve. After all, we don't know what's around the corner until we go round the corner. Keep smiling and stay safe.
Okay, thank you. You
You're
take care,
welcome.
everybody. And as Dave says, stay safe.
Thank you.